Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily topic-wise news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial would be discussed in this session. Additionally, I'll be supplementing the content with some relevant information that can help in prelims and mains examination. So let's get started. So today's 29th of June, and these are the list of the topic of the day. The first is nuclear capable Agni P missile launched. Second is government unveil second COVID-19 wave package. Third, Ukraine US launch Black Sea drill. And study to show coronavax is safe for children. And last is an editorial from Indian Express, forest rights and forest conservation. Very important editorial that can help you in a lot many sections. Apart from all the news and editorial discussion, there would be some MCQs questions. These questions would be based on current affairs that will help you in the upcoming prelims examination. And a small announcement that we have launched IAS Gadgeted Journal. This is an year subscription which you can avail at affordable price. So do check it out so that you can get benefited from the discounted price. I've provided a dedicated link in the description section. And those of you who are new to channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, do not forget to give a thumbs up. We'll start a session with the first news, that is nuclear capable Agni P missile launched. Talking about its relevance, this is important for your General Studies paper 3, achievements in science and technology, indigenous technology and development of new technology. And precisely talking about the prelims examination, these questions become very important. If you're appearing for CAPF examination also, right? So there also this type of question is very relevant. You'll understand the detail of this news. So recently India successfully carried out a missile which is known as Agni P, and it was successfully tested. From where it was tested, this name is very important because UPSC कई बार आपसे ये पूछ सकती है उसके locations के बारे में. So the test was being conducted from the APJ Abdul Kalam at the coast of Odisha. This name has been changed. I just want you to write in the comment section कि किस जगह के नाम के उड़ीसा के कोस्ट को नाम को चेंज करके अब्दुल कलाम आइलैंड रखा गया. If you know, do write in the comment section. I would love to see how many of you are writing that. Otherwise, I'll tell you in the tomorrow's video. Now, the test was carried out by the Defense Research and Development Organization, जो DRDO है, उसने मिलके conduct किया. And this is a flight tested the new generation nuclear capable ballistic missile. So you can see this image which was actually being conducted from the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Island in Odisha. Now, features of Agni P, this is something which is very relevant and important for your prelims examination. They can ask you any sort of features in a 2-statement questions. So Agni P is a new generation advanced variant जो कि Agni class of missiles के अंदर आती है. Agni के अंदर बहुत सारी missiles की series हैं. I will tell you that on the later part of the video. But Agni P के specifically अगर बात करें तो ये एक advanced variant है. Now the range capacity is around 1000 to 2000 kilometers और ये एक तरह की caneristics missile है. इस तरह के मिसाइल जो होते हैं that reduce the time required to launch the missile and improve the storage and mobility, right? So it is capable to be launched from rail as well as from the road. Some additional features about this: it can be stored for a longer period. This is something which can be a prelims question, right? Based on requirement, it can be transported across the length and breadth of the country. Definitely जब ये longer period के लिए रखी जा सकती है तो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे translocations में भी problem नहीं होगी. Now it weight half of the Agni 3 missile. जो overall weight है Agni 3 missile से half है उसकी, right? So this type of question calls for a vigilant approach. When you write, if you're appearing in prelims examination, it can be asked like it is double the weight of the Agni 3, right? So इस तरह से questions पूछती हैं UPSC आपको confuse करने के लिए. So make sure you concentrate on the important points as well. It has many advanced technology. किस तरह के technologies हैं? It comprises composites, propulsion system, innovation guidance, control mechanism, state-of-art navigation system. So these are some of the additional features that have been included in the Agni P. It can be used to target enemy warship in the Indo-Pacific region. As you know, Indo-Pacific has become a very important and point of concern for India. Considering the dominance of China, which is increasing in this region, many other Quad countries, right? Quad countries ने भी इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा अपनी चिंता व्यक्त की है. They have shown the concern regarding the Indo-Pacific region. So precisely, it can give another edge for this missile to India. Now, Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. If you talk about this program, this actually started a way back in 1983. So Agni की जो पूरी series start हुई थी. Agni is one of the 5 missile that was developed by DRDO. Organization is again very important. Defense Research and Development Organization. जिन्होंने इंटीग्रेटेड गाइडलाइन मिसाइल सिस्टम जो गाइडेड मिसाइल थी उसके थ्रू इसको डेवलप किया था इन 1983. The first intermediate ballistic missile of Agni was successfully test fired in 1989. Right, so this was the first Agni 1 which was conducted. उसके बाद इसको इंडक्ट की गई सर्विसेज में in 2004 and the missile has a range between 700 to 900 kilometers. Now talking about Agni P, the range has increased, right? So it can go up to at least 2000 kilometers. Right? So this is how the advancement has been done in the Agni missile systems. Now, other news, government unveils the second COVID-19 wave package. Yesterday, this was a great announcement coming from the government of India amid the second wave of the COVID-19. The government was about to come with some proposal, some relief packages, which they have released. Important for your general studies paper 3, issues and economy related to planning, mobilization, growth. And also some of the factual question and concept may be relevant for the prelims examination as well. गवर्नमेंट ने किस किस चीज़ों की अनाउंसमेंट की है, फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री ने अनाउंसमेंट की है. दिस इज अ फर्स्ट पैकेज आफ्टर सेकेंड कोविड वेव. अगर आप सेकेंड कोविड वेव के बाद बात करोगे सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट पैकेज, राइट. एंड इन टोटल जब से कोविड स्टार्ट हुई है सो दिस वुड बी द सेकेंड पैकेज, राइट. द फर्स्ट हैज़ ऑलरेडी बीइंग स्टार्टेड जहाँ पे प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने बहुत सारी चीज़ों की अनाउंसमेंट की थी. नो फाइनली ही मेड द अनाउंसमेंट बट उसके जो ड्राफ्ट थे वो रिलीज किए गए थे मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस के द्वारा. सो after the second COVID wave, second wave के बाद this would be the first announcement and overall this is the second announcement, right? So the stimulus focus largely on extending the loan guarantees. जो concessional credits हैं उनको बढ़ाने की कोशिश की गई है and to ramp up the investment in the healthcare capacity is something that government has focuses upon. Now, if you're writing this in mains paper, make sure you incorporate some important points in your notes so that you can write that exactly. राइट. तो कुछ दो इंपॉर्टेंट मेजर्स की अगर बात करूं दैट अनाउंस्ड वाज एडिशनल सब्सिडी टू द डैप एंड पीएनके फर्टिलाइजर. लाइक जितने भी फर्टिलाइजर्स हैं उनमें भी बेसिकली अनाउंसमेंट जो मेजर की गई है सब्सिडी को बढ़ाने की बात की गई है. एक्सटेंशन ऑफ प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना फ्रॉम May to November, right? So phosphorus, nitrogen, these are some of the fertilizer that has also been increased. The number pledged जहाँ पे फिनेंशियल इम्प्लीकेशंस की बात करें दैट इंक्लूड रिटरेशन ऑफ सम ऑफ ऑलरेडी अनाउंस्ड पैकेजेस. जैसे कुछ प्रोविजंस थे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने ऑलरेडी कहा था कि फूड ग्रेन के सब्सिडीज को बढ़ाया जाएगा टिल दीपावली, टिल दुर्गा पूजा और दिस फेस्टिवल. नाउ इट हैज़ एक्सटेंडेड टिल नवंबर, राइट, विथ हायर सब्सिडी हैज़ बीन एलोकेटेड, राइट. तो टोटल जो एलोकेशंस की गई है 6,28,993 करोड़ रुपीज़. इट्स अ ह्यूज अमाउंट. And we definitely will see some of the obvious positive sentiments in the economy. Now, if you categorize these measures, I will show you an infograph also. But अगर आप broadly इसको categorize करें जो relief package दी गई है वो 3 broad categories में आ सकती है. First is economic relief package for pandemic. From pandemic, what it was required is strengthening the public health care and impetus for the growth and employment. So these 3 are the main categories upon which government has announced the packages or they have clubbed the initiatives, right? Now you can see that this is a GIF that will help you understand कि किस तरह से ये की गई है. 2 सबसे important sectors हैं, loan guaranteed और emergency loan guaranteed, right? Now moving ahead, with the announcement that was made, this is a complete chart that will help you understand. I have not taken the text format because it's simply, it will mean to read it out, but I just wanted you to understand. If you see this infographic, you can take the snapshot also, the screenshot also. तो टोटल अमाउंट ये है। उसके अलावा जो मेजर्स ली गई है स्पेसिफिकली फॉर द लोन गारंटेड स्कीम 1.1 लाख करोड़ जो अमाउंट ली गई है, और एक्सटेंडेड गारंटेड जो स्कीम गारंटेड स्कीम्स थी उसके लिए भी अमाउंट एलोकेट किए हैं स्पेसिफिकली। पीएमजी KY के लिए this much amount to boost the export and insurance cover. This is the amount. I'm not quoting the amount. I'm just telling you for what this purpose is meant for, right? Additionally, allocations for broadband for the every villages. Healthcare scheme with the emphasis of pediatrics care because it is essential कि हमारे जो pediatric services हैं उनको भी improve की जाए. Additional subsidy for DAP and PAK fertilizers. Facilitate loan to the people with MFI schemes जो micro financial institutions हैं उनके through, and extended to provide visa to the tourist, right? So this infographic will definitely help you. It's an important infographic. I have selected this from other newspaper. This is not from Hindu. Now, other measures that government has taken is the extension of wave subsidy scheme for 9 months to the EPFO, right? जो Empowerment Provident Fund organizations हैं उनके लिए. Tourist guided stakeholders to be covered under the guaranteed scheme. Government to release 21 climate resilient crop varieties. And last is new streamlined policy for PP project assets and monetizations. So this is from Hindustan Times basically. You can take the screenshot or you can directly visit their page to download this, right? So this is the latest round of stimulus package that was provided by the government of India. UK and Ukraine have launched a Black Sea drill. Important for your general studies paper 2, bilateral regional grouping and agreements. What is this drill all about? What is the concern that Russia has, right? We'll understand that. But Black Sea is something which is important for your map work in the prelims. So make sure you're thorough with the Black Sea features as well as its map. Ukraine and the United States have launched a joint naval exercises in the Black Sea region in the southern Ukraine despite Russia call to cancel the drill. I will show you a map that will help you understand कि Black Sea के locations क्या हैं और कौन-कौन से उसके adjacent countries हैं. Now, participants of the joint exercise, who are the participants? So, talking about the Sea Breeze drill that will take place. No, this is 21st time that this exercise has been taking place. This already took place in 1997, involving 500 military personnel. 30 countries इसमें लोग participate करते हैं. This is a huge joint exercises that take place. Exercise lasts for 2 weeks that involve 30 ships including the missile destroyer. जो USS Ross जो है उसको भी include की जाएगी. तो यूक्रेन नेवी कमांडर ने कहा है that exercise would send a powerful message to maintain the stability and peace in the region. ठीक है, उस रीजन में खास करके ब्लैक सी के जो आसपास के एडिशन एरिया है उसमें क्लेम यूक्रेन और रशिया दोनों की रही है. Now, रशिया ने वार्निंग दी है. Why Russia has given a warning? I'll show you a map that will help you understand that why Russia has given warning. You can see this is a Black Sea, right? The entire region is this the Black Sea. This is Russia, and they have already taken Crimea out from there. Right? So this is a Black Sea, and you can see this is a Ukraine. So this is an area of conflict that has arisen between Ukraine and Russia. अगर इसके और एडजॉइनिंग एरिया की बात करें तो आप इसके जो ट्रेड्स टर्किश स्ट्रेट्स हैं वो देख लें. दिस कैन बी इंपॉर्टेंट. जॉर्जिया के लोकेशंस को देख लें. टर्की इज समथिंग विच इज इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? सो मैप वर्क for prelims become very relevant with this type of questions. Now let's understand why Russia is giving warning. Russia said that it fired warning shot recently जब उसने HMS Defender आई थी. उस टाइम पे उन्होंने कहा है कि this is something the violation of territorial water, right? Now Russia has annexed Crimea from Ukraine in 2014 only. So this happened in 2014 and claims the water around the peninsula as a part of its territory. तो जो भी क्रीमिया को ली गई वहां से उसको रशिया ने क्लेम किया कि these are our territory, right? The most country do not recognize the takeover as a stand behind Ukraine claims to water, but अपने कुछ हर कंट्रीज को पावरफुल रखने के लिए जॉइंट एक्सरसाइजेज में they want to recognize its power and show it to the other countries as well. Now in 2018, Russian forces broadly took control over 3 Ukraine naval ships and the Black Sea Peninsula, right? So there are something political motive also that is related with this, but ultimately this advancement would definitely help Ukraine to build a strong naval power. So I've already shown this map. If you have, do it, check it out and do practice some map work that would be relevant for the examination. Now, study shows CoronaVac safe for children. Study was being conducted. This was being published in the Lancet. Important for the issues related to development and management of health. So, what is this study all about? Lancet, that is the most reputed journal in the world. उनके कुछ जर्नल में पब्लिश की गई है इन्फेक्शियस डिजीज को लेकर के. They said that the Chinese vaccine CoronaVac is well tolerated and safe for children. Now, what is this all study about? We'll see that. The higher dose of vaccine induces neutralizing the antibody response in children and adolescents at the age group of 3 to 17. So, they have conducted this study and trial, and finally they are coming with a conclusion. अब ट्रायल के कुछ रिजल्ट्स की अगर बात करें, एक डबल ब्लाइंड रैंडमलाइज कंट्रोल फेज में इसको की गई है. सो हाफ ट्रायल के जो रिजल्ट थे उनमें इनएक्टिवेटेड कोविड-19 के वायरस दिए गए एंड हेल्दी चिल्ड्रन फॉर द एज ग्रुप ऑफ 3 to 17 वर कंडक्टेड, राइट. सो दिस एक्चुअली टेक प्लेस इन द हिबाई प्रोविंसेस ऑफ डिजीज एंड कंट्रोल इन द ज़ैंगहुंग इन हिबाई प्रोविंसेस ऑफ चाइना, राइट. एंड बेसिस ऑफ दिस रिजल्ट दे कंक्लूडेड कि जो लो वेट की पॉपुलेशंस थी उसमें डिफरेंट डोजेस दी गई और द डोजेस हैज सडनली इंक्रीज फ्रॉम 1.5 milligram micrograms to 3 micrograms and to see the result that what actually is being protected. Now the two doses delivered via injection in 28 days apart. तो 28 days के रिजल्ट में कुछ एफिकेसी बढ़ के मिली और ये देखने को मिला कि their children were performing better. Now, effect of double dose. Now, how China did this? They have increased the dose of the vaccine, right? तो जो सेरो कन्वर्जन्स हैं उनके रेट के मुताबिक जो न्यूट्रलाइजिंग एंटीबॉडीज थी बच्चों में उसकी एफिकेसी 96% तक देखी गई है. Now, if you talk about Chinese vaccine, it has the efficacy of only 51% initially, right? But in double dose, the efficacy rate has increased to 96%, right? And that too with the increased quantity of 3.0 the micrograms, right? And the patients will be followed up to a year to study a long-term immunogenicity and safety. So the study is ongoing, but they have finally approved that this can be given to children and adolescents. Now, a news and editorial that is forest rights and forest conservation. A very brilliant editorial written by Shruti Raghavan. She is a policy research working with National Resources for Governance, right? And this can be important for your general studies paper 3, conservation, environment, pollution and EIA, that is environmental impact assessment. So it talks about forest rights and forest conservation. I'll tell you what are the important issues that she has covered under this editorial. So the editor has covered 5 important topics, basically 6 important topics about the Bani grassland, Forest Right Act, forest degradation, forest restoration, supporting the CFR rights and way forward. If you talk about the theme of this editorial, किस editorial की theme किस पे based है, तो यहाँ पे बात की गई है recognizing and supporting the communist forest right, right? जो community forest right है उसको किस तरह से support करने की ज़रूरत है in overall recognizing how the forest can be preserved, right? We'll understand each issues one by one. So recently प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने अपने एड्रेस में जहाँ पर उन्होंने यूएन के हाई लेवल डायलॉग ऑफ डिजर्टिफिकेशन, लैंड डिग्रेडेशन और ड्रॉट को एड्रेस किया था. ही सेड दैट इंडिया वाज ऑन अ ट्रैक टू अचीव द लैंड डिग्रेडेशन न्यूट्रलिटी बाय 2030. दिस इज व्हाट ही हैज सेड ऑन द इंटरनेशनल फोरम लाइक यूएन. ही साइटेड अ एग्जांपल जहाँ पे उन्होंने बानी ग्रासलैंड. Now this grassland become very important because it was in address of the Prime Minister in the UN level of dialogue and desertifications. तो बानी के locations, बानी के features ये सारे आप याद कर लें. This is very important. A possible question for the prelims examination. Bani is there in the Kutch of Gujarat, no? And basically गुजरात के रीजन में है. दिस इज हाईली डिग्रेडेड लैंड वेयर बीइंग रीस्टोर्ड, जहाँ पे लाइवलीहुड अगर पेस्टोरलिस्ट्स की बात करें, पेस्टोरलिस्ट वो लोग होते हैं जो बेसिकली यू कैन से इन हिंदी चरवाहे, राइट? द पीपल हु टेक number of animals for grazing, right? They people are called pastoralists, so they term this approach to be a noble approach. Now, what are the issues that have been involved with the Bani grassland? So Bani, Asia's largest tropical grassland, is home to the greatest biological diversity and lifeline of pastoralist community. ऐसे communities जो कि animals को grazing को लिए लेकर के जाते हैं एक जगह से बहुत लंबे distance तक travel करते हैं. These are known as pastoralists. तो ये देखा गया है कि climate change की वजह से वहाँ पे एक अलग plant variety known as Prosopis zulfifora, right? Prosopis zulfifora, you can see this is a variety of a plant that has emerged and they have taken around 54% of the grassland, right? तो इसकी वजह से वहाँ पे इस invasion की वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा खतरा भी हुआ, right? And the study conducted recognized that unless the action taken, Bani grassland can have to the severe fodder scarcity, because this is something which would not be grazed by the animals, and if not, it would create a fodder scarcity. जो उनके चारा है, जो उनका fodder है, right? उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा problem आएगी. So this has to be taken, and India has its own commitment. I will tell you what commitment India has had under the Paris climate change. We'll see that on the later part of the video. Now coming to the Forest Right Act of 2006, यहाँ पे भी obligations है और community को एक power दी गई है. जो local communities है, they can have their own knowledge, right? They can develop their own local ecological methods, and they can be a decision maker in restoring the बेसिकली फॉरेस्ट या जो लोकल एरियाज का डेवलपमेंट है, राइट? तो FRA जो है, फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट जो है, जो आदिवासी कम्युनिटीज़ हैं, तो दीज पीपल कैन हैव फॉरेस्ट डेवलपर कम्युनिटीज़ इंक्लूडिंग द पैस्टरलिस्ट लीगल एम्पावर्ड हैं टू टेक द डिसीजन अगेंस्ट द रीस्टोरेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट कम्युनिटी रिसोर्सेज. ऐसी कोई भी फॉरेस्ट की चीज़ जो उसके रिसोर्सेज में काउंट होती है, उसमें सारे डिसीजन फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट के थ्रू कम्युनिटीज़ की बहुत ज़्यादा दी गई है, right? So this can also be an important aspect in your mains examination. Now, activity adversely impact biodiversity and local ecology. और जो फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट है उसमें यूपीएससी ने मेंस में भी क्वेश्चंस पूछे हुए हैं. Now coming to forest degradations, right? So बात करें अगर हमारी जो फॉरेस्ट है, that is grappling with the degradations, contributing to the GHG, जो ग्रीन हाउस गैस इमिशंस हैं, उसमें भी contribution काफ़ी हाई है. And more than 40% of the forest is open. India में जितनी भी forest, I mean forest is supposed to be open and often degraded, right? And India has committed to restore 26 million hectare of degraded forest by 2030 under Bonn Pledge. So this commitment is very, very important. You have to write this in mains paper. If you're writing an essay, then you have to write this, right? एंड अगर इंटेंडेड नेशनल डिटरमिनेंट कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस की बात करें, पेरिस क्लाइमेट चेंज के अंदर हर कंट्रीज़ की एक डिटरमिनेंट कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है. इंडिया ने टारगेट किया है कि जो क्रिएटिंग एडिशनल कार्बन सिंक by 2.5 to 3 billion ton by 2030. So this was a commitment that was made by India through additional forest and trees cover, right? So you can see some of the commitment we have already made to in the international forum, and we have to achieve that, right? And to achieving that, a lots of effort is also required. Now, forest restoration is the best example that can help to achieve this target. So एक important climate mitigation strategy है जो कि कार्बन सिक्वेस्टिंग के अलावे काम करती है. बेनिफिट्स बायोडाइवर्सिटी, कंजर्वेशन एंड सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट. इंडिया की पोटेंशियल है जहाँ पे रिमूव करते हैं फॉरेस्ट रिस्टोरेशन को लेकर के, और हाईएस्ट अगर देखा जाए ग्लोबल साउथ एज पर 22 स्टडीज दैट वाज पब्लिश्ड इन द नेचर इकोलॉजी एंड इवोल्यूशन. सो इंडिया पोटेंशियली रिमूव अ गुड अमाउंट ऑफ कार्बन फ्रॉम द फॉरेस्ट रिस्टोरेशंस. Now 123.3 million अगर देखा जाए, India has also great numbers of people living near forest restoration opportunities. So these people, the local communities, can develop their own ideas to help in the forest restoration as well. National Forest Program and Green India Mission were the last 2 decades that found them to be limited in the restoration benefits. So schemes have actually not helped that much, but the other people, the local communities, have definitely built a lot more forest and restored a forest of a larger area. Now supporting CFR, खास करके अगर बात करें कम्युनिटी फॉरेस्ट रिसोर्सेज है, दे आर कंपेलिंग रीजन कि इंडिया इस चीज़ को रिकॉग्नाइज करे और इसको सपोर्ट करे. एक स्ट्रॉन्ग पीयर एविडेंस की ज़रूरत है जहाँ पे इट शोज कि लीगली रिकॉग्नाइज्ड ये जो लोअर डिफॉरेस्टेशन रेट्स हैं, कार्बन स्टोरेज है, या फिर बायोडाइवर्सिटी है कंपेयर टू अदर फॉरेस्ट, these efforts by the community forest resource rights definitely help them to preserve more and more forest. Now, in the 2019 special climate report, land degradation intergovernmental panel जो थी, आईपीसीसी ने ये नोट किया है कि जो लैंड टिटलिंग है एंड रिकॉग्नाइजिंग प्रोग्राम कैन लीड टू इम्प्रूव मैनेजमेंट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट इंक्लूडिंग द कार्बन स्टोरेज. So land titling is something which is important. This has been already discussed in NCERT. If you're reading, you must be aware of this process. Now coming to the way forward, if you're writing this in a lengthy process of the mains examination, you have to conclude with the way forward. So India की restoration commitments की अगर बात करें, this is something which is ambitious in the world, and these need an ecosystem to support the forest right in India. So that forest right has to come from the local people. And global attentions to the ecosystem restoration in the United Nations is theme of the decade. और इस बार की अगर जो United Nations की theme है, that call for the global attention on ecosystem restoration. So this is a theme. Now all it is needed is to recognize and support the community forest right. So these things are very essential. The government has to recognize and support the community forest right, to understand that these measures would only help in restoration of the forest. There's no other way, because we have seen that the failure of many other government programs. So definitely these rights should be incorporated in the larger extent so that we can see some positive effects on the environment. Now coming to the MCQs question of the day. Before I proceed with the question, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. Both questions have the correct answer of C, right? So do check it out. What have you have answered in the comment section. Now the first question, that is National Monsoon Mission. It was launched by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It aims to develop the state-of-art dynamic monsoon prediction system in short, medium and long-range forecast. So this type of question very important for your geography as well as for the environment section in the prelims examination. So do write the correct answer in the comment section. Now Amal is also known as Hope. The mission has been recently conducted by which among the following countries, whether it is Iran, UAE, Pakistan or Sri Lanka? I think many of you must be aware with the correct answer, and I expect that a lot more of you will answer these questions. So do participate, write your answer in the comment section. This was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs question. If you have any other concern, do let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much for listening.